not easy to track me. And it may be entertaining for some of you. I'm not trying to be entertaining. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a comedian. I'm trying to communicate to you that you don't pay attention to, that aren't important to you because you don't have that problem. For you, once you start making money, you'll figure out how to manage making money. That's what you're thinking. You have no idea. It's when you start making real money. Fucking short circuit right there. Because you have no idea what it feels like to make good money. Conditioned all your life to make nothing. Your entire fucking day, week, self the fuck out. Money, no energy, no time to do anything. You got to make sure you get 8 hours of fucking sleep. All over again. Start making your monthly salary, gross, before taxes, fucking trade. Oh, this was nice. Wow, this was such a fortunate windfall. You feel like, well, wait a minute, what am I doing to do that? I'm going to continuously do that. And then it becomes every week. It becomes each session, morning and afternoon. Kind of windfall continuously changes you, challenges you, show you your flaws are. Oh man, I was continuously looking for a way to find validation because I lost my grandfather. But didn't raise me, want anything to do with me. Always spent my entire life seeking validation. For my grandfather as a father figure, I lost him due to pancreatic cancer, and I watched this strong, big Navy man consumed down to 90 pounds. Almost 300 pounds and not a fat ass either. He was shoulders, big ass fucking back, big ass fucking arms. And he was a man. That motherfucker he looked like a fucking redwood. Like he was a tree of a man. Watch that disease consume him. Looked like a shell. I lost him. I was lost. My strength. He was my direction in life before coming to Christ. Literally came to him. Other figure that I needed, he was the discipline, the enforcer when he needed to correct my ass and put me on the right path. You're fucking off. Get your ass over and do this. Okay, done. I had him done. He never had to ask. I remember asking him, I said, Pop, Navy? I said, join the Navy, I would have done it. He said, just to get his approval. No. Not what it used to be. Doing it, it was a different nation, it was a different way of doing it, but what they're doing now, no. I told him, I said, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. We'll see it. That's what he said. We'll see it. Didn't take that as, well, that ain't going to happen. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm not going to just talk about it. I'm going to fucking do it. If I'm going to do it, I won't talk about it. Exactly what he meant. He didn't talk about it. I said, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. doing it. I was going to be a systems analyst. I was going to school for computer programming and information systems, and that was my goal. I wanted to be a systems analyst. I wanted to do all of that. In my schooling, I couldn't secure a job. So I was a coder since 6th grade by choice. I was making my own games in 6th grade. But that's not where I was supposed to be. I looked at things as an algorithm even before my 6th grade math teacher taught it to me. Everything was a process. Thing was managing if then. In my head, I manage my everyday living. If I act out on what I'm feeling, this is what's going to happen. Then I'll have to deal with that. There was always an internal dialogue in my mind wrestling with bipolarism, wanting to act out, wanting to do things that I know I shouldn't do, and then feeling emotional and feeling embarrassed because I felt emotional and not understanding what that feels like, wrestling with it. And you see these fucking assholes online, they make light of it. Like, if you felt it, you wouldn't talk the way you do. You wouldn't say those things because it's very difficult living with it. Younger guy at 20 years old, when you start seeing money come into your hands, that your uncle that went to University of Maryland has a business degree and he's working a fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken just to make ends meet, and you can see it on his face, he's ashamed. And you, his nephew, pay for his school shoes, his clothes, and his entertainment because his father and mother can't do it. I'm glad I had that experience. Well, when I first did it, I felt off. I felt like I'm embarrassed to do it for my uncle. He didn't ask me to do it. I did it because they couldn't do it. If I didn't do it, my cousin Aaron would have been wearing the same shoes and the same clothes that he wore the previous school year. And you know how it is with kids. Like, you're wearing the same old shit. They would have teased him. But apart from that, I was a dick. I was an arrogant motherfucker, and I threw it in everybody's face. More taxes in 3 months than your fucking whole family makes in a year. That's who you are listening to when I was 20. That's how I was. When you start making a lot of money, it's going to show you where your weaknesses are. So as a 20-year-old, when I said those things, what I was exhibiting was all the fucking pain I was carrying inside. And I was trying to deflect it and show it as an offense. I'm able to do this. Fuck all of you. You're nothing. You're fucking piss ants. I make more money than your whole fucking family does. I pay more taxes than your whole family fucking earns in gross salary. That's the shit that came out of my mouth as a 20-year-old. And I'm ashamed of having said those things and acting the way I did. But it manifests because I needed validation. When I was saying those things, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody's feelings by doing that. What I was wanting to actually have happen, and it was stupid, but this is what everybody does on social media. You think by taking your shit and look at my fucking cars, look at my shit, look at my fucking watch I paid too much money for, look at everything that I got, but you can't.
Hello, welcome traders. Welcome to our live, and sorry for the delay and everything. This is my first time going on live, and yes, I plans to explain the post NFP, that is after NFP has played out and everything. What do we call out for today, and how actually price react to it. We've been anticipating for this NFP and all, and as I earlier told you guys that NFP will set the leg for our monthly moves. If we are going to be bullish on a monthly perspective, NFP is supposed to unity for us. And yes, we've seen NFP did exactly what we've planned for and what we anticipate in price. So, well, that's good to know. But yes, we still have a lot of things to look out and see where and how NFP did delivered along our daily asset pairs. And the asset I'm talking about is the DXY, which is the dollar index, the euro, the cable, GBPUSD, and Bitcoin. So these are the major assets I analyze. And yes, if this is the first time, maybe the first time you are coming to this channel, so do subscribe and let's dive into what we have for what I want to really explain for you guys. So let's go on a monthly perspective. Is Yes, I am going to start from up then to below. Now look at what we have for this month, or what we have for today, right? So like I said before today, that price, what I'm watching out for on monthly perspective is I'm looking for the XY to seek for our monthly CR candle, our monthly CRT candle, which is this particular bullish up close candle, and we've taken the high. So now overall on the monthly perspective, our highest expansion for this month is this monthly candle low, which we all know. I've stated it, and I said that if NFP is bullish, right? Sorry, if NFP is bearish for the DXY, which is dollar index, NFP should derive price lower, and exactly that is what we see on DXY today. So what are we going to do after NFP now, right? So I'm going to share some little insight, then I'm going to go deeper on when I am analyzing our weekly market review. So I'm going to go a little more deeper on our weekly market review, but for now let's just focus on the perspective of this news event, because I'm not going to talk about NFP again for this month until next month when we have to face NFP again. So this is just it. Every month, every first Friday of the month is NFP week. Yeah, and every first week of the month is NFP week. So yeah, NFP is a high impact news, and it talks about the non-farm payroll, that is the US, the economic employment and all. So they released the data today, which shows that there is an increasement, and it might leads to a rate cut going in September, or going in this month. The US might consider cutting rates and all of that. So and that's why we are bearish. The dollar is weakening. So for in order to make the dollar get stronger, they might try to how would we say, cut rate, so that they can balance the market with all these things. Okay, maybe something I will have to learn on my own part, but I don't really like this news event. Although I study them, I know what they do, how the way they impact. The major most impactful news on the forex market is NFP, CPI, and Jerome Powell speech. So because sometimes it might not be news and Jerome Powell will come to say something and boom. But for Bitcoin, there is a lot of things that can spike the crypto market, such as big investors coming in and all of that, and some news, maybe some exchanges doing something. It's so Bitcoin really have more drastic approach when it comes to news. But for forex, I think with my experience now, the major most impactful news right, is the NFP and CPI plus Jerome Powell's speech and all of that. So now, with what the monthly has shown, which it has already given us a go ahead, like let me say a go ahead that we are actually bearish. So what does this mean as a trader? This means now, from now to the end of this month, your low resistance trade. What do I mean by low resistance trade? Trade that you are going to take without being so much afraid is going to be a bearish trade for DXY. So imagine already knowing that, okay, from now to the end of this month, we are going to be looking for bearishness on the dollar and bullishness on EU and GBP, bullishness on EU and GBP until we get to this level. Don't forget, there might be a bullish retracement internally, maybe in 4 hour or even on a daily time frame. There might be a bullish candle on a daily, but if there is any daily or 4 hour bullish on that bull candles, it might be a retracement in price. All right, so that is just it. So this week, which is our NFP week, um market network is not really that fast, but yeah, this week, which is our NFP week, look at how we deliver. We wrap up all the way back to this area, but fantastic. As in, I mean, like, am I not fantastic a little? Ali, let me cherish myself. It's not easy to be able to know that, okay, if we are bearish this month, we are not supposed to see this week pass all the way to our previous month 50% candle range and all of that. And yeah, price still respected. It did not do much, as you know, I've been giving you daily insight like this, and price is consistently following it up. And yes, we are doing great, guys. We're doing great. And if you follow up like this, yeah, we might see good trade going in this month. So what do we have here? We already know that next week, what are we going to be looking for next week? We're going to be looking for an expansion to this particular low, which is sell side liquidity, and this weekly low. But any form of retracement that we have might be to recoup the NFP bullish candles. And whenever price gets above, it is creating more opportunities for you to sell, and you know, to sell. But you can buy in a short time move. But when, if you are going to become a buyer on DXY going in next week, that means you are entering a high resistance trade. If you understand what I mean by trade and low resistance. Now, when I mean by high resistance is that you are going in opposition to the market. That doesn't mean you are not going to make money or something. That means you are, that kind of trade is likely not to play out completely, or it might play out and boom, if you don't take your profit early, you might see your profit get taken out, or even all your profits going. But as long as you are on a low resistance trade, you are sure where the market is going. So which is something we are going to talk more on our weekly market review. So let me go on a daily time frame. We have um which is specifically explaining what really happens today, guys. Today was like amazing though, and yeah, everything, like, I mean, everything happens, bro. So this is our our Friday candle, which is this particular bearish candle that take this our uh, daily candle range, which is our CRT candle. Like, imagine this CRT candle. Imagine how many pips that was when you buy from the high and you sell for the low. It's crazy, bro. Whoa, we take a long trade from here and all the way to this low, right? Knowing that yes, we are on the right path. Although because of NFP, man was afraid within the week, but yeah, the we're still hold. But see, nothing really cannot happen during trade announcement like this. Anything can happen, but yeah, man was afraid, but we keeps the chains up, bro. So what do we see here? Price rally and come rally lower. Even we did not even see any form of higher prices for Friday. We keep on going lower until we came for our candle CRT candle low. So this was an amazing price delivery for today, and CPI just sets the legs for us. Now, when we go on the lower time frame, we see that yes, what do you see here? We see this is the NFP candle. Look how far it goes. Takes this low, take this low, all the liquidity around this area. And now we're retracing back into the the NFP range. What did I tell you guys? If I was trading NFP today, I would have been buying, not selling. That means I will wait until all these dusty moves is out before I engage. Like I've told you guys on yesterday video that I don't trade news, but if I want to really trade, I will wait until after the news is exhausted. Then I will now take like an hour after the news. Then I will now take an entry. And bro, this is more than 20 pips on EU and GBP, more than 20 pips. So, and what do we actually look for daily? And I advise my followers that we look for only 20 pips daily. But if we get more, fine. But 20 pips, that's your aim, bro. That's your aim. So that's your aim. So we look for 20 pips daily, then we work with that buyers and all. So we don't really have to do more than ourselves, all right, on this market. So we just stick to the rule, do what's necessary, and you know, participate to the best that we can. So looking at what the looking at what the NFP is doing, we can successfully say that yes, these particular candles, one, two, three candles, this candle will be a bearish order block, and or we call it our bullish breaker. Sorry, our bearish breaker. The last one, which is this particular one, will be our bearish breaker, and we whenever price gets to it, we might likely want to see it be the leading movement to come lower. So next week, if you want to really trade for this month, let's say you want to trade all your way down to this monthly candle range low, then you can take an entry around this area and be sure to put your stops above here, and you'll be on a safe for the monthly range. So which is that is our highest expansion for the month. So that is it for the DXY, and I'll say let's go to the Euro US dollar. So please, if you are watching this video, please try, comment and share for others to join. Like this is my first live video and not really much, so maybe if you have issues, you can, if there's something you observe, you can please notify me under this video, and maybe for next time I'll take caution about what you bring my attention. So thank you for that, and any other thing you might like to like me to improve on. So we are going to grow together and all. So what happened today on Euro, right? We see that Euro really trade with us too. Euro react from this our fair value gap. I told you guys that Euro is going to be respecting this fair value gap. All right, we see that Euro respect that fair value gap, and we deliver all the way to our daily CRT candle, to even the most side liquidity that we haven't taken in this. We fall short of it here, and now we've taken it with NFP, creating major moves for us and getting us prepared for the bullish momentum. So on that, I'll be removing some little things from this chart. Maybe I'll do that later, but not now. So I want us to go on higher time frame and look at. So this is our monthly candle range, and our highest expansion for the dollar, sorry, for EU next week is this particular high, which is the this particular high, our monthly candle range high, and look at, we still did not price to the monthly 50% candle range, just like I've told you guys before that EU is not going to get all the way down to this price. And yes, we respected that price, and EU did not get to that level. So what does this mean to you guys is that we are delivering how we're supposed to deliver, and price is respecting our moves. All right, so we've seen how price has retraced back, and on the highest circumstances we can't say that this particular CRT candle will become the bullish order block that will take us all the way down up to this level. Meaning that next week, if it's going to make more sense, right? If Monday creates a fair value gap here, maybe deliver lower, go higher, it might not take this high. Then the next thing we see Tuesday creating the low of the week, and Wednesday, Thursday going higher. And maybe we might take this high and fall short of this high, but we're going to see all the way, get us all the way up to this level, which is the sweetest trade we are going to see next week. All right, but in any way, like I've said on our previous video, any CRT candle or our candle range, which is specifically candle like this, a good CRT candle will become an order block. So watch out for what we are going to have next on EU. So I'm still here with you guys, as long as you're keeping up with me. I'm still here, very here, providing analysis on a daily. All right, all I just want you to help me with is comment, subscribe, and you can even share the link of my videos to people who are enthusiastic about trading, who really wants to get into the journey. Let's get together, let's work together, and let's grow together. I'm trying to grow, and yes, and I believe we all can grow together. So that being said, let me go to the 4 hourly time frame. I'm not going to go lower than 4 hour. If you want to understand more vividly on the lower time frame, then you need to come back and watch our weekly market review. Is that all wonderful? So yes, what do we have here? The other block I was pointing out, which is this daily CRT candle, we've seen it. If we minimize it, then we are going to use this particular candles. All right, so price is likely to come all the way down here. Now, what do you see in price? Look at this particular candle. This candle I'm pointing out. This particular candle is becoming a CRT candle, meaning that if we price is coming all the way down to this area, we can sell all the way back here. But that will now make us high resistance setup. That means we need to be very conscious and risk less on that kind of trade, right? It's a setup, but it's high resistance trade. That means we are going against the trend. All right, so when we are going against the trend, it's called high resistance trade. That doesn't mean we are not going to see a setup that is against the trend, but we are going to see a setup that's against the trend, but and we're going to risk less. And when we price get here, we can risk more, but doesn't mean you should risk all your accounts, because you might still know where price is going, and price will take you out before actually going to where it's going to go. So that is the major thing I want you guys to know and take note of. So for now, we can say that price is going to come all the way down to this area, and before we see any price move going higher. So that is just the major basis for post NFP, but I'm going to break more down on later on our previous, okay, on our weekly videos. So yeah, likewise, but I like, oh my goodness, like I feel so pain that I didn't take this trade, right? Because I call this order block for you guys. I see this order block is the perfect order block for euro, like for price to see. And if we're gonna take this our CRT candle, then we have what do we have here? Order blocks. So this is the main order block. This one is what? Proportional order block. This is the main order block because this is the order block that sweep liquidity and taps on another higher time frame order block. So this is the main order block, and this one is the proportion block. I'm not sure, price is not, this will become a breakaway gap, which I'm going to remove, and I'm going to explain more on our weekly review. So look at what price did here. DXY, sorry, GBP actually comes the low. Bro, GBP has the highest pips for this week, and I call these guys out. But I didn't take GBP because I did not take this long trade on GBP, right? If you go watch my previous videos, just take your time. They didn't take, it's not much. I call this area out, and look how many pips that is the CRT candle. I'm not talking about this NFP move. I'm talking about this particular CRT candle. Look how many pips that candle gave us. Very, very sweet trade. I mean, very, very sweet trade. Just can just be going home with very lucrative, you know, using this fair value gap as our main mode of entry. Very, very sweet trade. But anyway, I didn't take it, and I used to swing trade GBP. That is what I do. The euro, I day trade it. I don't trade DXY, for the record. I don't trade DXY, but euro, I day trade euro, and GBP and Bitcoin, I swing trade them. I didn't take no trade on GBP, and I feel so like, imagine knowing something is going to happen and you talk about it every day, but because of news event and all, because of your rules, right, you are not engaging. All right, sometimes that's just what we all have to go through for learning properly. All right, so but alhamdulillah, we see things going the way we want, so I'm not going lesser than this. So finally, let's go to our Bitcoin, our holy Bitcoin. This Bitcoin did so gracious this week, but Bitcoin is like it's trying me seriously. Bitcoin did. Bitcoin is really trying me. Like honestly, this nigga, I am saying that this nigga is going to get all the way to this fair value gap before we go lower. But Bitcoin, nay, very strong headed nigga, it's not going all the way down to this point. But yeah, we did see that price create this. So next week, I am still in support of Bitcoin coming all the way to this fair value gap. Because if we are actually bearish, now the how bearish are we? The heaviness of the bearishness. That means sometimes you can be bearish and just be a little bearishness. But if this bearishness is really heavy, that is, if it's enough to take us all the way to 96, 97, which is this area I was talking about on our previous video. If it's heavy enough to take us all the way down to this place, then we should tap on this fair value gap, which will take us down here. And this is a market structure shift on a weekly time frame. All right, we've seen liquidity taking and market change, shift structure, broke structure, and this might actually be a long time move. But with what is happening, if price did not get all the way to this our fair value gap, or our internal, this is internal liquidity to external, now we have external here, and this particular candle is our what? Our CRT candle. So price is not willing to get there, but whatever be the case, we are still anticipating for price to get all the way back to this area before going lower. And what do we see on a daily time frame? All right, now I call these guys out for you guys. The only trade that was meaningful on Bitcoin for me was this daily CRT. I take this daily CRT that really does all the way that I take my profit around here before seen price even coming all the way back up. But now price is rejecting, but don't lose sight of what is in price, what is in play. We have a fair value gap here. Price can wick below it. That's not a problem which price might really use next week. So next week, imagine this is what CRT candle. This is a bullish order block. So a bearish order block, and I'm anticipating for price. Maybe it's one of the stuff that's making price not to go all the way back up, right? But this liquidity, and from what I can see, the market makers are trying to generate liquidity, are trying to make people short around this area, so that whenever they come, before I can short BTC again, or before I can even trade BTC, I want to see how BTC react. I want BTC to come back here, then I can short heavily with full chest, knowing fully well price is coming all the way to our previous month low CRT, or we are coming all the way to 97, 96. So we have so many area, or you can even take your area, your TP at this order block, monthly order block. So any, but for me, if price gets here and I'm taking any trade, I am taking my TP around this area, which is very very sweet point to take. Seriously, if you risk $10 from here, you should be able to be at 500, sorry, depending on your whatever leverage you use on your exchange. So you're supposed to be getting like $100 plus on this trade, which is enough if you are, and it's going to play out within a week or within a week or something. So it is really worth it. Now let's look at that other fair value gap I marked out. Look how price is respecting it. So I'm still in support that this fair value gap is going to, if be effective, to take price all the way back here. And look at this particular candle, is going to be our CRT candle on a 4 hourly time frame base to take us here. So I think it's enough to take this our monthly total soup out. So this is basically what we are looking out for on DXY, and ahead of our NFP and how price utilize this NFP. So it is very very good to have you guys, whoever turn up for me on this live. It's my first live, but whoever turn out for me on this live, then that's very very good. I appreciate. Well, if you are watching this live out of maybe after it has ended, then no problem. I hope you enjoy what you came for, and I hope I